All right, welcome back. It's been super busy this week and the week before, so we're only sort of getting the race videos in, which is on the weekends, which even getting the birds to the race point is pretty difficult, to be honest, with everything that's going on. Kids are sick again, one of them, so it's going to be a bit challenging, but we'll get there. So what we've done, these are the birds that are not racing this week. There was 23 in here this morning. We've basketed them. They're on their way, probably on the truck now anyway, ready to go. And trying to keep this place reasonably clean. This time of year is horrible. We've had like 4 inches of rain over the last week out here. And it hasn't been too pleasant, to be honest, but the bird's still in good condition. Last race, I think we had 21, maybe 22. I didn't update it. So returns were pretty good. Out of the 25, I think we only had 3 or 4 that were missing, which is pretty good considering. It was a really quick race. We only had one come back on the second day. We had a lot of rain on that day. You can see top of the wing, there's a slight bit of damage there because it had a bit of a sore wing, but still come back in absolutely downpour rain. So pretty happy with that one. He'll sit out for a few weeks. Not a really bad injury anyway, so it's not too bad. Rest of the birds sitting in here. Most of these won't. He's sitting out because he's got some flights that have still got a little bit further to go. So I thought, he can just sit it out for this one, no stress. So not too bad, to be honest. This week is 278 kilometers again, same race point, but this one's going to be quite tough. It's reasonably strong headwind, tiny little bit of rain, no tailwind this week, so it's going to be very interesting to see which birds actually do sort of pull through and can handle that tougher weather. Will sort of come into here. What I've done, I just moved over 83 and the mealy hen into here because these 2 birds I can actually loft fly, so if I do want to take them out for a little fly they can. But she's looking pretty good. Hopefully one of her sons do well again this week. We clocked her son last week, we clocked her the previous race, and 83 done pretty well for us last year as well. So just pairing them together, see how they go, and hopefully have a few older ones for next year because the young ones, they do struggle a little bit out here. But all in all, it's gone pretty well. Still got to sort through birds. There's a lot of stock birds here, and only very few birds are actually doing pretty well for us, so we can only sort of I'm trying to get down to those 6 to 8 pairs. That's my ultimate goal, because I don't want too many birds. It's just too much work, to be honest, with everything that's going on. But sort of just identifying those pairs of birds that seem to be doing really, really well. There is a few, to be honest. There's actually a couple pairs that are just really good. Like, I'm very impressed with them. Their babies are still here. They've jumped through every single hoop we've had to deal with and all the hassles, and I'm pretty happy with them. Like, next year is going to be a good year. I think we'll have less birds, but those birds will be far better birds. So each year we're getting a little bit better. And we'll have a little look in here. I don't have too much going on in here, just a couple of pairs sort of finishing off. We're just randomly doing pairings that I want to pair together. Normally in the breeding season, it's hard to sort of mix and match because you lose too much time. So what I'm doing here is just pairing together pairs that I really like. We've had like a lot of rain lately and it's still very damp and cool, so it's taking a long time for anything to dry out around here. But I had the Mealy and 83 up in here, but I've taken them out just in case I decide to move this loft after this round, because I do want to start sort of tinkering around and building a smaller, better loft with the sort of all-in-one, something that's going to be simpler with electricity and stuff like that. So we've got Leo's babies down here and they're looking pretty good. So I've only bred one the same way bred as these 2, and she's in the race team this year. She's like the youngest one, but she's the best performing bird we've got. She's jumped, she's the one that had the ripped out throat, but she's doing really well. So my plan is to get a few more out like this, because if I can have like 10 or 15 of those birds in my team, I don't need a lot of birds, because this little hen that we've got from the sister to these is proving very tough and resilient and sort of hard to lose. So that's the kind of bird we're after. So this pairing, really, really good. Not, at this point, not clocking them, but this pairing is probably better at the 600 to 800 kind of kilometers. So I'd say 500 up, and these will probably be a little bit better. They're more of a tougher sort of bird. So that's where a lot of these newer birds are in here. They're for those 500 plus races. And it'll be interesting to see tomorrow with a little bit tougher conditions with a headwind. That's where these birds will do hopefully a lot better, because the leftover of our speed birds seem to be doing most of the clocking at the moment, but all the other tougher distance birds are still there, which is what I kind of really want to see. These two here are off the mother of the Pattaya birds that I sent away. They've gone away last weekend, I think it was. And then we paired it up to 3331, which is the brother to, well, I think his name's New Sensation actually, so one of the newer distance birds we've got. And these are looking really good. So the father of these, I think half brother of them, has been doing really good in the King Island races. Been ticking some serious boxes, doing some of those real tough water crossing races, which is really good. So I'm pretty excited to see how these two pair out, because we've got this little one here, looks like a little hen, looks like a bit of the cockbird here, so pretty excited to see how these go. And after this I might split them all anyway. If I do decide to start working on a new loft, it'll go right in this position, so we will need to sort of move this one. This guy's actually quite a nice looking bird. This the mother of this one is my best kettle hen, and we've tried a different cock this year, well, this round anyway, because all the other ones have been reasonably, well, they've been terrible actually. They don't last very long at all. This thing's quite nice, a little bit of white on there, which, you know, it's not preferential for out here, but hey, if you can evade the falcons, it can do it. I've got a grizzle that's still here, so I'm not ruling out too many white feathered birds just yet, but we'll see how this one goes, because the best kettles have been pretty bad for me here. They're just not as tough as I would like them, so we'll see how they go. But he looks pretty good. Totally different pairing this time, so hopefully the cockbird's got the juice that we need to sort of change thing up. And here is, this is Bondi actually. She's a really good mother. This is her first time, so she's paired up with the unrun cock, which is one of 83's sons, and she's got this little baby here, which should be pretty good. She's got an interesting mix of Koopman and Veenstra in her. I think her father might have been a double grandson of Klein Dirk, so I'm not really paying too much attention to all the pedigrees or anything these days, but more just if the birds can tick the boxes, they tick the boxes and they're still here. So hopefully she can do it. She's got some good breeding in the background, but doesn't really mean much when you've got some seriously high pressures on the birds. We'll move along. This is the new pairing here too, which would be pretty good. It's one of 83's daughters actually paired up to one of the Cassats that I've got. One of the Cassats that I've got is doing really well as well. He's should, well, hopefully in this tough race that he does sort of show his harder longer distance stuff a bit better, because they are a tough distance bird. So we'll see how those ones go. And moving down to the final pair we've got, the old cock that we've got is in here with this hen. They've finally laid some eggs, but I've been candling them, and still early days. Give them another 4 or 5 days, and if these aren't fertile then I'm going to have to look at probably getting rid of the old boy, or completely clipping her tail and tying her vent up and doing the same for him, because he does have trouble when he's actually mounting the hen. So he's very unbalanced just because he's old. So we'll just have to wait and see how they go. But stay tuned tomorrow, race video. Just a little quick update for you guys, because some of you wanted to see what's going on. Technically not really breeding a team, we're just trying out some different pairings to see how they go, because I don't want to hold on to this best kettle hen if she's no good. Give her a couple of rounds, different cocks. If those babies don't make it past the loft or 20 kilometers like the other ones did, then she'll go. We do have one baby out of her from when she was paired to 83, which is still in the race team, so there's a little bit of hope there. But percentage wise, compared to some of the other birds, the babies drop out pretty quick anyway. But there's some interesting pairings here, so I'm thinking next year is going to be very interesting race results. So Get ready for tomorrow's video. 278 kilometers. It's going to be a tough headwind, bit of rain, so it's going to be very different. The results going to be a much slower velocity as well. Last week we were in the 2000s, but this week I'd say we might even be 1,000, 1,200, even closer. It could even be down to 800. It could be quite slow, but yeah, as long as we get our birds home, that's the main thing. So see you tomorrow.